Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, and their twin flame connection. Pisces, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to you to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I really thank you in advance for that, because your subscribes, your donations, they just help to have my channel grow, which is something that I've always hoped for. So Pisces, I hope that you all are doing well. It's been kind of a weird energy kind of day. Yeah, so I'm not gonna get in too far into why it was weird, but just hope everybody is doing well out there and taking care of yourselves. This is specifically for people who are in the twin flame dynamic, twin flame connection, although if you are not, or you're not sure, there may be a channeled message that is relevant to you in this reading. So I don't want to detract anyone, but I am reading for twin flames. In a nutshell, twin flames are people who are in two bodies but share the same soul. So you and another person who share the same energetic soul. It sounds kind of wacky and crazy, but if you are in a twin flame dynamic, then it's something that you know very intimately. It's a runner-chaser dynamic, so there's one person who's a runner, one person who's a chaser. If you meet, it can be very magnetic, very highly physically charged, and it can be really great at first, and then there's always a separation period between twins, and it's for spiritual growth. So that's twin flames in a nutshell. It can be a very rewarding experience. It can also be very taxing, frustrating, aggravating, saddening sometimes, but it is for our best and highest good. So it's, imagine that you had another human being out there in the world who you have a psychic and energetic bond with that is absolutely unbreakable. You don't have to talk to your twin anymore, but you can't cut cords with them because it would be like cutting a cord with yourself, right? So the whole goal of the twin flame dynamic is to heal the self, come to an acceptance of who you are and a love for self, to excel, to not just in a material world sense, but definitely in a spiritual sense. So I am also a twin flame, so I just thought that when I started this channel that I would definitely do twin flame readings to help other people that are going through some of the same things that I'm going through. Today I'm going to be using the Way of the Panda Tarot, just because twin flame readings can get a little intense. So I wanted to put a cute face on it. Oh, look at your little twin, right? And then we're going to even that out with some intensity with the Carolyn Miss archetype cards. So I'm going to pull one. That's interesting. I have a Cheruit crystal on my desk and it just fell over. I always use Cheruit to access the violet flame and Saint Germain, which is commonly associated with twin flames, and it just fell over. So thank you, Spirit. And so it's a little bit of just a nod to twins everywhere. Let's get an overall energy for this connection. One wanted to jump out there and it didn't. Okay. Saboteur. Often in the twin flame connection, there is somebody who self-sabotages or sabotages the connection because it can get a little too intense. You know, it's like, why do twins separate in the first place? Because one of the twins knows through and through and through that they love their counterpart, that their counterpart is the one for them, and then the other party is the runner, and they're just like, it's really too intense and I don't know if I can be in this connection anymore. So Saboteur is the card. The light attribute highlights your fear of self-empowerment and changes it would bring to your life. And the shadow attribute induces self-destructive behavior, or the desire to undermine others. How many of you twins can relate to that one, right? If you're the chaser, if you are the one that was chasing or is chasing after your twin, then, you know, it would seem impossible to you to understand how your twin couldn't see what you see, right? But it can be very codependent. It can be very toxic. And as the runner, you know, there's no way that somebody could feel this way for you, right? It's too intense, and maybe you don't feel that you deserve that kind of attention and that kind of love. Both are self-sabotaging. You never want to be too, well, we never want to be codependent with anyone, right? We want to, even if it's our parents or our children or our colleagues, our best friends, it's always good to have a really firm sense of identity in self-love. So also what I'm seeing here, we're sitting inside of a hot air balloon. This, you know, hot air, right? Full of hot air. What does that mean? It's to be full of crap. It's to blow smoke. It's to, I like how I'm using like one idiom to describe another idiom, but essentially in that expression, there's a little bit of emptiness or a lack of a foundation. That somebody can say something to you, but it doesn't have a lot of much to back it up. Maybe saying things that you meant at the time, but you no longer mean. Maybe listening to your twin make excuses, but you know it's not really the truth. We shall see. So funny, I just started to shuffle the deck and it was in reverse. So maybe the energies between you and your twin are flipping, right? Maybe if you were the chaser, now you're becoming the runner and they're becoming the chaser. Once we pull away from our twin, that's when they start to miss us, right? So 4 cards for your base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. Oh, that was quick. Okay, 5 cards out so far. 6. Okay, 7, 8. No, oh, 1 major arcana for Pisces. Okay, so the first 2 cards I'm going to show you are your energy with regards to the twin flame connection. We start with the 4 of Wands in the reverse. 4 of Wands is often called the twin flame card. It's the 11-11 card. It talks about a stable foundation, a solid foundation, something that we can build strength from, gather our resources and building up and up and up, as these pandas seem to be doing. Especially this guy here, he's kind of just hanging on. You got it in reverse. Oh, there are 2 major arcana cards, excuse me. 1 is the devil. You know, I kind of felt the devil energy. I'm also a Pisces moon, so I, you know, relate. This is kind of what's going on with my energy as well, but I could feel the devil card lingering, and I was talking about a codependency. So the devil is Capricorn energy, your twin. Maybe a Capricorn, or maybe they have, maybe you have strong Capricorn placements in your chart. It's he looks kind of fierce, you know, in the deck that's a little whimsical. This is the fiercest looking panda. And he's upset because he's trapped and bound and tied up and chained, right? And sometimes maybe it's you're wanting to let go of this twin flame connection at this point because it's not built on anything that is stable right now, and yet you feel completely enraptured, intertwined with it, and it's frustrating you, right? It's funny because Spirit is showing me something that happened this morning. One of my cats, Bex, he's orange and he's very rotund. Code word for fat, but I love him so much. I hadn't cut his claws in a while. We just clipped their claws just to keep their nails trim, and I hadn't done it in a while, and he was stuck on something. He was stuck on his cat tree. And I don't know why cats can't figure out that it's just like, just retract your claws and you'll get unstuck. For some reason, they can't figure that out. And I was just, I don't know, he was just playing and clawing on the cat tree, and I was just eating breakfast or something. All of a sudden, I heard this growl come out of his little rotund body. He's never made a sound like that. Like he was about to like fight for his life, that kind of sound, like this. And I looked at my mom and I was like, who made that sound? And she said, Bex did. And I couldn't believe that he made that sound, that he had felt so, I guess he had been, you know, it was just one tiny little claw, but he had been struggling with it for, you know, a good 60 seconds. And I think he got so frustrated that he just let out this primal, I mean, he's an animal, but it's just this guttural sound. I've never heard him make that sound of absolute, just like reactive anger and at the cat tree or at his situation, how he got himself stuck, right? So Spirit is kind of, that sound is on replay inside my head right now, because maybe that's how you're feeling, Pisces. Like you're just all caught up, right? And I said cat tree. It's like maybe you're caught up in the brambles and the branches of this situation, and you want to clear everything away. You want to free yourself, and you can't right now. I'm going to pull a clear. Okay. I was going to pull a clarifier before I even got out the words. The card fell off the deck, so I'm going to take it. It's the Fool card in the reverse. The Fool card typically talks about somebody who is taking a great leap of faith, that there's like a new beginning that you want to have, and you're trusting in Spirit to guide you, to catch you, to push you lovingly out of the nest of comfort. Their Spirit is showing me a video I saw on Instagram where people were throwing baby puffins off the side of a cliff, but it's for their own good or something, because otherwise they need to be kind of nudged off the cliff so that they can learn how to fly. But I didn't watch the whole story, but I found it kind of shocking. But it's what they do in Iceland or wherever puffin grow. So Spirit's showing me like their loving hand kind of just shoving you off the cliff. That's the Fool energy, but you have it in reverse to clarify these two cards. So 2 major arcana to start off with in your energy. You can't start over because you're still connected. Really we're always going to be connected to our twin, but you're connected in a way that makes you feel disempowered, right? You know, I did the Cancer reading a couple days ago, and I think in that reading I talked about you know, who in their right mind, as souls, we're up there in the 5D or wherever we come from with our twin, who in their right mind would say, yeah, let's go down to earth and completely put ourselves through emotional hell to have this twin flame connection in human bodies. What do you think? Right? And it's like, I am being a little facetious when I say this, because sometimes it's weird. My throat chakra started to close up just a second ago. It's incredibly painful, you know? And sometimes I wonder, why would I ever sign up for this? Why would twins ever do it? But the flip side of that is awesome spiritual awakening, an awakening of your gifts. Like, the more you focus less on your twin, whether you're the runner or the chaser, just put them in the corner in your mind and just say, I love you, and you're sitting over there for a minute. Let me just focus on me. And truly focus on me, not running away, just focusing on me, on my spiritual growth and health, on my finances and career, on my hobbies and things that I love to do. And hopefully you can find a way to mix your career, your hobbies, your loves, and put them all into one beautiful package, right? Like, this is me to you with my tarot. I separated from my twin. I had a spiritual awakening. Turns out, kind of clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. Who knew, right? So, whatever your clair senses are, your connection to spirit, it only becomes heightened when you can quiet your mind away from your twin for a little while and focus on you and spirit and you and the universe, and understanding that you are complete all by yourself. What is their energy, though? What is your twin's energy? And remember, you can flip those energies, because twins mirror each other. So a lot of this could be a little intermixed. Queen of Swords in the reverse, looking really fly in those glasses, and the Knight of Wands. So for their energy, Queen of Swords, it's almost like a little bit, your twin doesn't want to look at something right now. They're in this energy, like kind of a karate, you know, jumping through, making a splash, little unreliable. Knight of Swords is a flash in the pan, can be full of energy, full of passion, sexuality, things like that. Kind of in denial. Queen of Swords in the upright is somebody who understands the truth, knows the truth, and wants you to tell her what the truth is, even though she already knows. But in the reverse, it's kind of like almost a rejection of truth. And I don't always read it that way. I don't usually read it that way. But there's something in your twin's energy where it's just like, I don't have time for that right now. I'm off, like, kicking butt in the jungle or wherever this band is, like concrete jungle. I just heard, you know, like making my way in the business world, or with in an entrepreneurial spirit. Like, I'm focusing on me right now. It's with the Knight of Wands, I want to say it's slightly selfish energy, and that might frustrate you twins, especially, you know, I'm reading this from your perspective, and so if here you are stuck in this energy, I'm most likely talking to chaser in the dynamic, not the runner. But here you are just saying, I just want to take a little leap forward. And here's this guy, like, bounding through the bushes, like making his or her way, paying no attention and no mind. And I will tell you, you know, because Spirit is now bringing up this card again, Saboteur, it's not that they don't know that you're their twin. It's not that they don't have love for you, but they are perhaps rejecting this dynamic at the moment because it scares them. You know, this is not an easy word to get. And like, I just want to show you, look at how many cards are in this deck. You got Saboteur, right? So what I would say to that too is understand, you know, part of this, whether or not you want to be with your twin in this lifetime, like you may not want to be with your twin, okay, but it's in a way like we're stuck, right? So how do we get ourselves unstuck? It's actually looking at, because the twin triggers us, right? Looking at the saboteur within ourselves. What are we self-sabotaging? Is there something that you have been trying to get off the ground? Let's say you like want to start a new hobby or new business, or you want to travel, or you want to make amends with somebody, whatever it is, where you would need to take a first step forward. Maybe you've been stalling, procrastinating, and you don't want to do that anymore, but you don't know how to stop yourself from this cycle of self-sabotage, right? But when you watch your twin do it, it's really frustrating, because you know what? It reminds you of something that you're doing yourself. So focus on the triggers. That's where the healing begins, when we can quiet the mind and we can focus on our triggers. So what do I mean by that? So the next time you're like out in the world having a conversation with your parents or your siblings or, you know, coworker or whatever, and they say something, it just pokes at you. It just gets you in a way that just irritates you. And then there's severities of that, right? I'm seeing just like a small little irritating quip, or a flat out, I'm completely offended by what you just said, right? Don't let that go. Don't write it off. The next time you have a quiet moment, even if it's painful, just revisit that moment, and as dispassionately as you can. Just see it. It's like as if you were standing outside yourself. You know, you see yourself outside yourself, and then the person that was talking to you. And analyze that conversation in meditation, right? Just look and say, okay, that person said that to that person. That person got upset. I wonder why, right? Obviously, we're talking about you. Ask yourself what triggers you, and do that questioning game where you ask yourself why 5 times. Have you ever done that? It's super annoying to say, okay, why did that trigger me? X, Y, and Z. Well, why? X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Well, why? And keep going and going and going until you just can't go anymore. Because it always comes down to fear, abandonment, abuse, sadness, something like that in our past. And if you can pinpoint that moment, then you can begin to heal it. Because it's not about dwelling on it. It's about saying, I'm no longer in that past. I'm in the present moment. And in the present moment, I can say, do, or be any state of mind that I want. And so I can choose to remain angry at that little quip, or I can say, you know what, that was an immature statement, or it wasn't factually true, or you know what, maybe they had a point and it hurts me because I know that it was true. Whatever it is for you, that's how you start to really go through. It's like an ego death, right? It's like really putting an end to those cycles. Right now, your twin can't face it. So I'm gonna pull a card to clarify. 5 of Wands. See what I tell you? Look at that whole it's so funny, because I was talking with a friend last night, and she was telling me a very, very funny story. which probably wasn't funny to the person that it happened to, but it was kind of a confederacy of dunces. It's like this family member, a friend or family member, they were laughing so hard that they tripped on a big box and landed in the box, and it was like they were sandwiched and their feet were dangling up in the air, and it was comical. Nobody got hurt. It was just absolutely comical, like something you'd see in a cartoon. And that story is what it's reminding me of, because I don't know why, there's a little bit of whimsy because it's been heavy, right, Pisces? And so your person, this is your person, the person that you love, the person that drives you insane, your twin flame. Just like, imagine this is what it's like in their head right now. They're just a jumbled mess. They may like look cool with their, I don't know what it is that they're doing, but this is what they're really like. A mess. And maybe you're a mess too, right? Can you laugh at this? And Spirit's asking me to ask you, can you forgive your twin in this moment just for 10 seconds? And just say like, oh, they're a mess. I love them. They're a mess. This is what it's like in their head right now. What is it in the connection? These two cards, look at this, the star. Look at how beautiful. Aquarius energy. You may have this in your chart, or they may. The star is about wish fulfillment, but it's also about healing. I know the ultimate wish for a twin flame connection would be the healing itself. Right? A star, the sun is a star, and I always like to remind people that the sun is a star. That life-giving energy, that clarity. This is a little isolated, right? This panda's by themselves. It's a little isolating. It's a little alienating. Sometimes a little lonely, but it's necessary, because it's precisely in these quiet moments that we can assess what it is that we need to heal. Two of Pentacles in the reverse to clarify that. Two of Pentacles talks about multitasking, juggling, and right now it's like both of you are, look, and there are two pandas here, right? I think that both of you are trying to enter into this solitary energy for healing. Let's get a clarifier on that one. How are they doing it, Spirit? Hanging out with friends, Three of Cups. Hanging out with a soul tribe. A soul tribe that reminds them of their value and their worth. You know, not that we need others for that, but yeah, it's wonderful to be around friends that support you, isn't it? Like really true, through and through and through. So maybe both of you are separately hanging out with your contingent. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. I mean, I don't know why he has like bamboo kind of hanging off of his face, but it's kind of funny. You know, I feel as though your spirit guides are very strongly around you right now, and I'll tell you why. There are two elements in this card that signify to me spirit guides and higher self. One is the lavender that I see in this card, because lavender is the name of my higher self. She told me that in a meditation once. And so every time I see lavender represented in anything, I know that my higher self is speaking. I also see this panda wearing a bow tie, and that bow tie reminds me of my dear uncle who has passed away, but he is one of my spirit guides. So those are two indications to me to really let you know that your spirit guides are with you. Like they're right there with you. They're excited for you because you're stepping into your life's path now. Like maybe you have been already doing this in this process. You're kind of fed up with like the status quo, and you know that you need to be on a different path, right? Maybe it's your career, maybe it's your hobbies, maybe it's you going back to school, because you're like shaking up the system, or at least you're trying. The Spirit's saying keep going, like you'll get there. And then once you get into the zone of what it is that you love to do, it's like all the doors open up, right? And the same goes for your twin. And you want your twin to elevate, right? Because if you're raising your vibration and your twin is like down here, do you want your twin in that energy? Of course you don't. Because that's what it was before. You just were mixed matched. You want your twin to meet you as an equal, and you want to meet them as an equal, right? So when you're connecting with your twin in the astral, the 5D, right, in dream state, really, truly in your heart, wish them well. Wish them well, because it will only mean that you do well. What is Spirit's advice? Couldn't be more beautiful. 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is independent single energy. It doesn't mean you're necessarily single right now, but in terms of a mindset, standing on your own 2 paws, as it were, just fat and happy. I mean, like, look at this guy chewing on bamboo, enjoying the fruits of his labor, surrounded by abundance, right? Pandas eat bamboo, surrounded by abundance, understanding your power, understanding your beauty. 9 of Pentacles also talks about that, pre-Empress energy, with the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Knight of Cups is somebody that's not really making an offer right now, so you might not be dating, they might not be dating. It's just about turning that energy inward. It's like you're your own best date right now, and don't take that to be a sad thing. It's just, have you ever taken yourself out to eat? Just you, yourself, and you. It's really liberating, actually. I mean, it can be difficult. It can feel awkward to, table for one or whatever, but if you don't feel comfortable going out to dinner by yourself, go out to lunch. Take a book. Be in your own company. People watch. Spirit is really bringing that to, because they're showing me doing that. I don't do that all the time, but every once in a while, it's really nice to just have a day where you're just by yourself. You can sit in your own company. It's refreshing. You can walk at your own pace. You can stop at your own pace. They're showing me something that I plan on doing later this week, which is going to the museum. I love going with friends, but I love going by myself. So it's like, I don't feel like I'm dragging anyone along, and I don't feel like I'm holding anyone back. And Spirit is saying, inhabit that energy at this time, because it's almost like you'll fall in love with yourself all over again, One more card of clarification, Spirit. We got 2. 6. You see, Pisces. 6 of Cups and the Sun, you see? Oh my God. Right? So 6 of Cups is a card of nostalgia. And the Sun, it's the best card in the whole deck. So we go from this energy to this. Spirit is saying, they're just reaffirming, right? Like, how beautiful, like you can, and look, see, the panda has a cat. It's like, it's so funny. They have the cat and the cat ears, like the cat hat. It's cat in a hat. Maybe your twin, or you like Dr. Seuss. No offense, but I can't stand Dr. Seuss. But that has nothing to do with me. So maybe Dr. Seuss is a reference that you guys made together. Take it as it resonates. Look at all the cat tails. These are cat tails. There's something about a cat. Maybe it's my cat. I don't know. Six of Cups is a card of looking back on the past with fondness. And the Sun is illumination, clarity, life-giving energy. Sitting in the grass, grounding, enjoying life, enjoying your blessings. Spirit is really, that's such a, what a beautiful energy of advice that Spirit is giving to you. Nine of Wands in the reverse, one more card I didn't realize had landed. No longer holding on to, you know, like having to suffer through something. We're letting that go now. We're letting that go now. So Pisces, that's your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification, comment if you would like. It really helps the channel to grow. Thank you so much, Pisces.